There's something unsettling about a painting that watches you. Eyes filled with sorrow, a face frozen in despair. But what if that sadness carried a curse? They called it the Crying Boy, an innocent portrait with a sinister reputation. Homes burned to the ground, but the painting remained untouched. Families swore it was haunted, cursed, something not meant to be kept. Was it coincidence, or was the Crying Boy more than just paint on canvas? Tonight, we take a closer look, but be warned. Some say just hearing its story invites misfortune.
Welcome back to the Kraken Cans Cast, the cast we talk all things cryptid, all things urban legends, all things spooky. I am one half of the hosting duo, Mike, here with the butt crack himself, Corey. And Corey, we got a fun one today.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say fun. I mean,
we make it fun.
Yeah, we make it fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the Curse of the Crying Boy.
Yeah, going right into the curse. Like Pennhurst didn't give us the willies enough talking about that for 2 weeks. You just dive right into just
some curses.
Yeah, some curse.
And we're not talking about bad words either.
Well, it's bound to happen.
Yeah. But this, when did you first hear about like this? Because I know I don't know where I heard about it, but I know like I heard about it a long time ago.
I don't know. I don't know if I heard like a reference on like
Yeah.
Some kind of paranormal show of like that before. I really don't know. I know I've heard of it. I couldn't really even tell you what it was.
Yeah.
As far as anything about it, why it's cursed, what the like I don't know anything. I just know I've heard it referenced.
Yeah.
Maybe just referenced in pop culture. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard it referenced or something too, and I just know like knew the basic, like there's this painting, people's houses burned down when they have it in their house.
That in that movie, The Crying Boy.
Oh yeah,
cinematic
I've seen
masterpiece,
that one.
1994.
Oh yeah,
you did not see that. Starring Shia LaBeouf as a baby.
Yeah,
it was all right. Keanu Reeves, Drew Barrymore. It's crazy. It's a crazy movie. I think it was called "The Baby Cries No Mo."
No Mo.
No Mo.
Like
it
no
was
more,
like
it was No Mo.
It was No Mo. Yeah, it was like an indie. I think it had a African American director indie film. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's classic. Anyways, getting back into the episode, you wanted to bring us into the little brewski we got
Little
here?
brewski, yeah, we got New Trail Brewing Company, which I think is our second or third New Trail. Second, I think. We had the flannel.
Yeah, we also had the one for the Watcher, the Raven.
The Raven. So this is, I think, our third then.
Yeah,
sweet.
Dude, I feel like we've had another one. Like, I don't know, we hit a streak of New Trail there for like a hot minute.
Yeah, so we got Bonfire, which is a hazy double IPA brewed with red wheat and oats. And it's hopped generously with Wemia and Citra.
Oh, you nailed it.
Expect bright tropicals complemented with rich citrus fruits. Enjoy this beer with your friends the next time you're gathered around the fire making memories.
Love. Oh, memories. That makes a lot more sense if you're with all your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And today's topic being the Curse of the Crying Boy, which involves a mysterious painting that has caused many houses to burn down. And interesting enough, the Crying Boy story supposedly ends in a bonfire.
How ugly is that kid? That's what I'm saying. How ugly is that kid where people look at that thing and it's like, I don't even want to remove this from my house. I just want to burn this son of a bitch to the ground. The whole thing and everything in it. It's all been tainted by that ugly-ass kid looking at me.
Well, actually, bonfire, it's mentioned twice in this story, at least the stuff I'm going to go over today, but then ultimately the curse ends in a bonfire.
Curse ends. That sounds like it, like...
Michael Myers.
Yeah, exactly. like part 8, the curse ends.
Yeah.
But yeah. So get into this. Cheers. Bink.
Doink.
It's delicious.
It is good.
Dude, New Trail just pumps out like 3 new IPAs monthly.
And a hazy weekly.
Yeah, dude, they have so many.
Yeah.
Like, they have so many. I went to search that Raven on their website in their archives, and it's not even there because I think they just ran out of room in the archives to even find it.
It's on page like 23.
And I think we made the joke that they just tweak a hop here and there. Like, they just take like an ounce of hops out of this one and throw an ounce of these in here and
change the name.
Beer.
Yeah, change the name. We got a new beer.
But all their stuff is good.
It's
delicious.
Yeah, I know. I forgot to say this is a 9.3 double.
Damn. I thought it was a 7. I didn't realize it was a 9er.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, 9.3, baby. And I mean, I don't know about you, but like, I mean, it's you can taste the tropicals, the citrus, but also like you get that kind of piney.
Yeah, I also get that. Like, what was the one oat they said that the red wheat? I feel like I get a little bit of that wheat like flavor in it. A little bit different, but it's delicious, just like all their stuff.
Yeah.
Haven't had a bad beer from them yet.
No, sir. I am mad, though, that they don't sell growlers.
They don't.
Because I collect growlers, and I went up there the one time after a training to get a growler, and, we don't sell growlers. I'm like, what?
You are a collector of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you collect stuff.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I collect growlers.
Growlers, Drecker cans.
Just Drecker cans, though. I mean, when you're paying like $12 a beer.
Sports cards.
What
else you collect?
Toenails.
Toenails, yeah. Only mine.
Beard hairs.
Them babies is worth money. With feet like mine. Oh, yeah.
I don't like seeing your feet.
Well, guess what? I'm going to make you suck my toe. And on to that, we will get into the episode.
Let's go.
All right, Corey, I want to hear basically the origin of the Crying Boy painting.
So the information that I got is from an article written by David Clarke titled The Curse of the Crying Boy.
Yeah, what's good, Dave?
And he has his own website, drdavidclarke.co.uk.
That caught me off guard. I was in like mid-sip when you just said Dr. David.
It's
like,
Dr. David
we
Clarke.
get it, buddy.
Yeah.
You're really smart. You went to school. We get it.
Yeah. So, yeah, all the information I gathered is from his article, which is a pretty good read.
Compliments of Dave.
Doc.
And that's right on his website, that Dr. Dave, whatever it is. All right.
Yeah.
Is he a professor, doctor?
Honestly, I didn't care enough to.
Yeah, I mean, he's a
you
doctor.
see Doctor, like, Dr. Seuss, like,
Dr.
It's good
Fear.
enough for me. Dr. Phil.
Dr. Fear, that big piece of shit we talk about.
Exactly. So, background on the painting.
Hold on, to stop you there, I was thinking the other day, so I was thinking about how we were talking about Dr. Fear, and I think it's just going to be my goal for like the entirety of this cast to just let the world, like, I'm going to try and just refer to him as the biggest piece of shit for like as many episodes as I can.
You're just going to sprinkle him in?
Yeah, like, Dr. Fear, that raging pile of dog shit. You don't know who Dr. Fear is? He's a pile of poop, and check out Penhurst Part 1.
I don't. Yeah, we don't talk about him in Part 2. We should ask her about him.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
Huh.
Talked about Dr. Feelgood. No, we were busy talking about Skip.
Yeah. No more King.
Oh, dude, I didn't tell you. So this is also unrelated, but it's worth saying. So I had a dream the other night, and you made an appearance in my dream.
Was I clothed?
Fully clothed. You didn't listen to me, and you got killed by Michael Myers because of it. Dude, I have these like reoccurring nightmares where like I'm getting chased by like horror movie icons. It's not like always Michael Myers. Sometimes it's Chucky chasing me. Sometimes it's Jay's. Like, I have them like on the regular. like every 2-3 weeks I have one of these dreams.
So I didn't listen to you? Like, what did I do?
You know, you can only like remember bits and pieces of a dream. So like I ran through this house, ducked through, we escaped this house. Well, I escaped this house. You weren't in the house with me, and all of a sudden like you appeared and said, "Well, Michael Myers is chasing us." It's like he's chasing me, but yeah, sure, that's fine. And we were at like it was almost like a little fire pit like you have in your backyard back there, but it was a wide open field. And I could see like Michael Myers like walking kind of on an angle away from us through the field because we were hiding in the grass. And it's like, dude, we gotta like as soon as he like hits that wood line, like let's just freaking start running. You know, he walks everywhere. Let's just start running. And you were like, yeah, I gotta get something out of my truck first. It's like, well, first off, you got your truck? Like, let's go get in it right now. And you're like, yeah, but I don't know where my keys are. And I just got, it's like, dude, no, screw whatever's in your truck. And long story short, you ended up dying in your truck. Like, that's all I saw was just like the truck shaking. And it's like, I just kept grabbing air, just running as fast as I could up this driveway. So yeah, that was my experience with you not listening to me.
I wonder what I was getting. Probably something stupid like my gloves or something.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what. Like you were like dead set on it. It's like, dude, there's nothing in that car that is like more important than just running right now.
Like my pocket knife.
Yeah, I will fight him. Yeah, I forgot I wanted to mention that one.
So let's dig into the Crying Boy.
The Crying Boy.
The Crying Boy is a portrait of a young child with big tear-filled eyes and a single tear rolling down his cheek. This emotionally charged image became iconic, but not for the reasons one might expect.
Well, who'd want to collect this kind of art? Like I tell you what my living room needs: a crying child on the wall.
Wait till you hear the number of paintings that was produced.
Yeah,
it's
all right, I'll be excited.
Crazy.
Yeah. People are weird with art.
Yeah,
I am one that doesn't get art.
I think some art's pretty cool, but like when you got somebody just, standing a fork up against the wall and saying like, look at that masterpiece. Like that's not art.
I think of It's Always Sunny when Frank's like walking, it's like trash, garbage. Now this is a masterpiece, and it's like the dehumidifier on the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't. I mean, I get like some art why it's cool, but man, for the most part, I'm just, I guess, like dense enough where it's like I want like a cool picture. I don't want something that's super deep. I don't know. It's a painting to me. Why is it so deep?
Or even like you got those ones out there that's just like a blank. It's like a blank white just canvas.
Yeah.
And it's like selling for however, you know what I mean? It's at like different art exhibits or art museums and stuff. And it's like, what the hell? Like I could go throw, a pair of my
doo-doo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because you use dog doo-doo, that would make it art.
Yeah. You ever see, this is kind of random. We're just going off topic before we even get started.
Yeah, we're way off.
You ever see that guy that paints pictures with his dick?
I have seen that, yeah.
But it has to be soft,
he
says.
So he's not using it like a pencil.
He's
using it more like just a roller.
Yeah. Those things,
guess.
those they go for quite a bit.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but
yeah, I thought you were gonna say you posted the one on our Facebook about like the beautiful painting that was in an insane asylum. And the paint used was somebody's poop all over the walls.
I actually saw something like that when I did my internship at the state prison for women in Pennsylvania when I was in college.
Oh man!
One of the inmates
makes sure to turn gay.
Drew a whole like mural on the wall with her shit.
Did you ever see it's a TV show called Blackbird? Man, we are diving
we're not
right
even,
now.
We're not even started.
All right, so I'm just gonna sum it up because it's based off a real story. But essentially, like this guy gets busted for selling drugs, but he's like super social. He like does really well when he goes to prison and all that. So they basically get him and they say, hey, there's this guy in this like, it's like the kind of like the. It's not an insane asylum, but it's like a prison for people that like are not mentally stable. Essentially, I can't remember what the word they used on it. But anyway, so he goes there and he befriends this guy. And what they're trying to figure out is like this guy's in prison because they know he murdered these girls, but they cannot find any evidence. Like the dude was a cleaner, but he's a little squirrely in the head. And he befriends this guy, but at the end of it, what happens is he ends up like seeing the guy's map. And basically when he saw the guy's map, he just like snapped out on the guy, called him a piece of crap, but he got sent to solitary confinement. So he wanted to try and remember that map the best he could in his head, and he's in solitary confinement. So he just like cut his finger open and drew in blood on the wall where all the X's were on the map to just try and like remember it. That's kind of what it is a awesome TV show. It's like a one of those like short mini series, like an 8-parter. I don't know what it was on, but it sucked me in really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like big time. It was good. Blackbird
sucked you in. Got it.
Got it.
All right.
On to the crying boy.
The painting is most commonly attributed to Giovanni Bragolin.
You know what painting makes me think of? Did you ever finger paint as a kid? No, I'm just joking.
Shut the hell up. I was just going to tell you to shut the hell up. So Giovanni Bragolin, who was an Italian artist. However, this attribution.
Dude, there's no way that's a word. Attribution.
Attribution, yeah. But I'm just saying it weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're saying it with no confidence. Like when I get to my sheet and I see words I don't know, I just read them like all totally stupid, but I just do it with total confidence.
Yeah, you do. I don't even know what I was saying.
Something about a defibrillator.
Anyway, the name Giovanni Bragolin may have been a pen name, as some researchers suggest that the artist behind the painting preferred to remain anonymous. Bragolin was a pen name for Spanish painter Bruno Amadeo, also known as Franchat Saville. So
it's a Spanish guy pretending to be an Italian guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then, the Spanish painter is also known as, a different...
So he's, a second pen name.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to get too crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's hard to really trace...
Y'all artists are weird.
It's hard to trace, who the hell painted this picture.
Satan himself.
Yeah.
Satan
might
himself.
Have been. And there's also the possibility that Bragolin was merely a pen name used by a group of artists or even a marketing strategy for mass-produced prints. The mystery deepens when you consider that similar paintings, sometimes signed by different names, appeared under the Bragolin label. So some paintings were signed just Bragolin, some were signed G. Bragolin, or some were actually signed his whole name, Giovanni Bragolin.
So are they trying to say that it was all different artists painting these pictures?
They said that it could be. Could be different artists, and then they just sign it as some branch of this Giovanni Bragolin name.
Gotcha.
But regardless of who painted it, the Crying Boy was mass produced as a print, and these inexpensive reproductions became very popular in British homes, especially in the 1950s and 1960s. And I saw that there were at least an estimated of 50,000 or more prints that were sold.
50,000.
50,000.
Okay.
And this is in that area,
yeah,
the UK and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
In that whole area.
All right.
The story of this curse did not become mainstream until the 1980s, though people from earlier times reported having house fires, bad luck, etc. from this painting after the news articles published. So it seems which I'll go over here next, kind of when the story was published that kind of made this whole curse a thing. But it seems once that happened, that's when people started coming out of the woodworks from the 50s, 60s,
saying
70s.
Hey, my house burned down too with this in it.
Yeah.
Probably some kind of insurance scam.
Yeah.
It's hey, the insurance company's anybody had this Crying Boy painting,
Yeah.
we'll pay out. It's hell yeah, mine did.
Yeah. You see a commercial did you have the Crying Boy painting from 1960 to 1980?
Ones,
If you do, please call this number now.
You may be entitled to a settlement.
Yeah.
Good luck settling with who. Nobody knows who painted these pictures.
I know, right?
We'll figure out who to settle with.
Yep. On the morning of September 4th, 1985, published in one of the most famous British tabloid newspapers at the time, The Sun, was an article titled Blazing Curse of the Crying Boy.
What year was in the 90s this was when it was printed? 80s?
This was 1985.
85.
When this
that
was
the
published.
the tabloid that was.
Yeah, it
okay.
published it in 1985. So they published the article titled "Blazing Curse of the Crying Boy." And now I know, like, when a lot of people hear the word like tabloid, it's like,
Yeah, I think of like Bat Boy, like when we were sitting. Like, remember when you go to the grocery store with your parents and
Yeah.
your kids, and it's like Bat Boy,
yeah,
just made love to Whale Girl and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, that's what I think of.
like you
that.
think of just like made up bullshit
Right.
that has
Yeah.
no credit.
Yeah, but do you think tabloids were slightly different back in like the 80s than they were when we were a kid around like 2000?
Yeah, I think back then, like, they typically showed like genuine like news, but they just exaggerated it and
Yeah,
really,
they
really
embellished
like,
it.
Yeah, really, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
They build it up. It's almost like it's like 80s clickbait in a way,
Yeah. So that's why you should always cross-reference your stories from tabloids with more established, reliable news sources
No
to get
way.
a clearer.
No way.
But
I'm going. If I find it in a tabloid, it is 1,000% fact, and I'm writing it down on this paper, and I'm presenting it to you people, spreading the lies.
So with the case of the Crying Boy curse, it seems that the Sun played a critical role in spreading this urban legend by sensationalizing the connection between the painting and the house fires.
Okay.
So
makes
they
sense.
really just like blew it up, and
Well, it'd be somewhere where the connection came from.
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense that it was a tabloid.
Well, here's the way I look at it. Like,
How do you look at it, Corey?
with as far as
I
tabloids,
hear how you look
as far
at
as
it.
tabloids,
Yeah.
well, you saw Men in Black, right?
Oh yeah.
You know how they look at tabloids.
Oh yeah.
That shit's the truth. It's just they're trying to hide the truth by making it very unrealistic.
It's
But really, it's where they go to get like
Yeah.
the real shit.
That's just like our government in general. I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah. So
it's like, oh yeah, you guys are all worried about us overturning this. That's because we're letting aliens,
Yeah.
like real aliens, cross the border, not
Yeah.
illegals, just real aliens,
real aliens.
from outer space.
Yep. So when you dig into this case a little more, you find there are interviews with firefighters and investigators in local UK newspapers, like newspaper articles regarding this curse as well, where many houses have burned down, only to find this painting left untouched.
Untouched.
Yeah.
So how did this whole curse and everything spread?
As more and more copies of the Crying Boy painting circulated across Europe, stories began to surface about homes that had mysteriously caught fire after hanging the painting. These stories were key in turning the Crying Boy from a mere piece of art into a full-fledged urban legend, with people connecting the painting to unexplained fires. At first, it was easy to dismiss these accounts as coincidence, but the sheer volume of reports made people begin to question whether something sinister was actually happening.
Sinister.
Some of the first accounts of the fires, so like one of the earliest and most notable reports came from a man who claimed that he had bought a Crying Boy painting in 1973. Shortly after hanging it in his home, a fire broke out in his house. Strangely, the fire only destroyed the area around the painting, leaving the painting itself completely untouched. The strange detail added to the belief that the painting had some kind of supernatural power over fire. Ball. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I don't. It kind of seems like this is like a perfect 10 seconds of fame, 15 seconds of fame. To be like, my house did that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't that I fell asleep on the recliner again with a lit cigarette in my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. So now I'm going to go over a breakdown of some individual stories and how they contributed to the growing legend of the Crying Boy curse. So Dora Mann claimed that just 6 months after she purchased a print of the Crying Boy, her house was completely gutted by a fire. According to her, all of her paintings were destroyed in the blaze, except for the Crying Boy.
He's jealous.
This selective survival of the painting in the fire seemed to add weight to the idea of a curse linked to the artwork.
I like it.
Then there was Sandra Kask, who reported
You
that.
said that so excited, like you know her. Sandra.
You know.
You guys remember Sandra from her Hat Man stories?
So she reported that her sister-in-law and a friend had all experienced significant fires in their homes after acquiring copies of the painting. The repeated association of these fires with the crying boy intensified the belief that the print was somehow cursed. And then we got the Nottingham family.
Dude, they sound a little bit high flute.
Yeah.
Seems that way.
Yeah. This is probably
They probably stay at Nottingham Palace.
Ooh.
Yeah. Saying. Ooh, he said.
They stay there or they own it?
Well, they just stay there.
Okay.
Yeah. Can anybody really own Nottingham Palace? I mean.
So they blamed their crying boy print for a devastating fire that left them homeless. This tragedy added to the growing number of families claiming the painting had caused or was linked to disastrous fires.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about Brian Parks, whose story was particularly chilling. He and his wife, along with their 3 children, required medical treatment for smoke inhalation after a fire broke out in their home. When he returned from the hospital, he was shocked to find that the crying boy hanging on the blackened wall completely undamaged. He decided to destroy his copy, which he had previously kept, as a way to rid his family of the apparent curse.
Good for him.
As more stories piled up, strange and unsettling details emerged. One owner from London claimed to have witnessed her print swinging from side to side on the wall.
Oh, that painting looks like it's from London.
as though it were moving on its own.
Swinging from side to side.
Another story came from a mother in Pankton who reported that her 11-year-old son had caught his private parts on a hook.
Whoa, what? Why? But why?
After she bought the print.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, I
to
don't
ask
know.
you,
I know.
lady.
Yeah.
So many questions.
Suggesting some kind of misfortune linked to the artwork beyond fires.
Okay.
Then there was Mrs. Rose Farrington, who wrote a letter to the Sun saying that after purchasing the crying boy in 1959, her 3 sons and her husband all died under tragic circumstances. She wondered if the painting was cursed, citing a string of personal tragedies linked to its presence in her home.
It wasn't the fact that she kept nagging him till they just had to get out of there. It had to be the painting.
Yep. And then one of the most striking stories came from Paul Collier, a security guard who tried to destroy 2 crying boy prints by throwing one of them onto a bonfire. Despite being in the flames for an hour, the print wasn't even scorched.
So you think it's some kind of paint they're using on these?
We'll get into that.
I need to know right now. No,
Collier described the experience as frightening, claiming that the fire wouldn't touch the painting. He became convinced that the prints were jinxed and felt doubtly at risk.
Bum, bum, bum.
With 2 of them in his house.
Well, why 2?
I know.
He has them face each other.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll give you something to cry about. Look at this guy.
Yeah. They just keep crying.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, he's crying. Oh, he's
Yeah,
crying.
he's crying. I'm crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids are. If one's
Yeah.
crying, they're all crying.
His experience echoed the strange survival of the painting in other fires.
Fire. Ding, 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 ding.
And then during this time, too, there were many reports from across Europe as just this whole thing spread regarding people who had, it spread like herpes.
I would have went wildfire.
Yeah, spread like wildfire.
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 Maybe it's too soon. R.I.P. California.
Yeah.
L.A.
Yep. Anyway, people who had purchased the painting, particularly those who bought it in the 70s and 80s, claimed that their homes had suffered from mysterious fires.
Fires.
In some instances, entire homes were destroyed, but the crying boy painting was never harmed. And I saw that there were stories that emerged from Spain, Italy, Germany, and the UK, all describing similar occurrences and unexplained fires where the crying boy painting was found untouched by the flames.
Bam. The freaking Germans dealt with it. Did you say Germany?
Yes.
Okay, I thought. Yeah, just want to double check. Yeah, right. So let's hear about some fire station experience.
So Rotherham Fire Station officer Alan Wilkinson, who had personally logged 50 Crying Boy fire incidents dating back to 1973,
Damn.
dismissed any supernatural connection to the paintings. With 33 years of experience, Wilkinson wasn't superstitious and believed that most of the fires were likely caused by human carelessness.
He wasn't superstitious, but he was a little stitious.
He had to have been.
Yeah,
Like,
just
it's
a little stitious.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, 1,
I'm
2.
not super, but yeah,
It's
a
like
little.
1, 2. Okay. 3,
Yeah.
4, 50.
Yeah.
It's got to be something.
It had to be a lot of drunks just falling asleep with cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's my blame.
You know
for
what I
this.
think it was? I think it was just this painter that's unknown. Nobody knows who it is. He's just running around Europe
Is
placing
that what it
these.
is?
I think he's an arsonist. And
You
he's
think
lighting
that's what it
places
is?
on fire, and then once it burns down, he throws the painting in there at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Just-
most of these houses didn't even have this painting in to begin with.
Yeah.
That'd be a good strategy. There'd be Corey behind him ready to just murder people in his pigmobile.
Yeah. Eat them. The pigs.
Oh, the
the
pig,
pigs.
yeah, the
the pigs.
pigs.
Yeah.
Right, him right, eat him.
So despite this dude's practical outlook, he couldn't explain how the painting survived such intense fires. Fires hot enough to strip plaster from walls and like burn whole houses to the ground.
To the ground.
His wife had her own theory. I always say it's the tears that put the fires out.
The tears.
So
And his wife was actually from, like, the southern part of the U.S., apparently, with her accent. But, yeah, the tears.
yeah, she thought it was the tears of the paintings that put the fires out and then kept the paintings from burning up.
A bit of a stretch, lady, but I like where your head's
I
at.
like it.
Yeah, I like where your head's at.
Despite Wilkinson's rational explanations, the Sun wasn't interested in offering a logical reason and instead ignored his comments, claiming that fire chiefs have admitted they have no logical explanation for a number of recent incidents.
That's like the equivalent of, like, we gave him $20 and he just shut up.
Yeah.
20 pounds. Sorry.
yeah. Over time, the number of Crying Boy-related fires supported by first-hand accounts like Wilkinson's contributed significantly to the growing legend of the cursed painting, which seemed immune to fire.
Bum, bum, bum. All right, so let's hear about the big bonfire.
The big bonfire.
The big bonfire.
As the Crying Boy curse spread, people began to panic. They didn't want to be the next victim of the painting's supposed evil influence, so many owners took drastic action. Some simply destroyed or threw out their paintings, while others went to great lengths to get rid of them. In a bizarre turn, the Sun organized a mass collection of Crying Boy prints to be burned at a huge bonfire.
Talk about, like, just stoking your own freaking fire, man. Like, hell, we get all these people. We get enough crazy people that believe us here.
Yeah.
And we can really just start feeding them lines.
So they start, like, posting this in their papers, like, do you not want your painting anymore? Like, you bring them to us, we will get rid of them for you.
Yeah, it's like, if you bring your painting to us, we're going to tell you about the lizard person that lives in your sewer, and you're really going to have to be worried about him.
Yeah. You think you're worried about a painting?
Yeah. The painting's bad. Check out it's not Mothman, but it's Moss Man. He lives on rocks and he's covered in moss.
Coming. And I think when they did this, I thought they only thought maybe they would get like a handful of paintings.
Yeah.
I don't think they realized how many they actually were going to get.
And how many did they get?
So
This is the fire that burned down half of London, by the way.
yeah, the London Bridge.
Yeah.
It took down the London Bridge.
You ever hear that song, London Bridge is falling down? It's because of these paintings.
Yeah.
This is it. You all going to learn today.
Hell yeah. So the Sun invited the public to send all their paintings so that the curse would be eradicated and people would feel safe again. So over 2,500 paintings were collected during this event, which took place
2,500.
2,500.
Damn.
And what day of the year do you think they had this bonfire on?
Was it a summer or winter month?
I'll tell you, it's a holiday.
It's a holiday.
Yeah.
All right, I need a summer or winter holiday.
Neither.
Halloween.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's just the hint I needed.
Yeah. So yeah, they facilitated this bonfire on Halloween, which added a spooky ritualistic element to the hysteria. The paintings were burned in a large public bonfire, which was widely covered in the media.
And none of them actually burned.
Yeah.
They said when they started burning that in the smoke coming from the flame, you could just see a crying
Big
boy.
crying boy. But he wasn't crying anymore. He was laughing. Yeah.
Because he was the son of the head editor and chief of The Sun. So he's just making bank right now. He's selling cotton candy and ice cream to all these kids watching this fire.
This event shows how superstition and fear can drive people to act irrationally. Burning the paintings in a bonfire was seen as a, like I said, ritualistic cleansing, a way to rid themselves of the perceived evil. But it's clear that the fear was most likely rooted in myth and just hysteria and not really a curse. But I don't know. And then
is that arsonist painter that you're?
That's what I'm saying.
Talking
Yeah,
about?
I think it is. I think it's funny though because after this like bonfire was completed, they announced that like this curse was done.
Yeah,
like they ended the curse.
Oh yeah, good.
Like how?
Yeah, that's it.
Like even if it was a curse, like
What do you mean? That's it.
yeah, it's
They're
over.
Good. Yeah, they're good.
There's no more curse. You don't have to worry anymore. Like what the hell? Like
You're not really trying super hard.
yeah.
So we got you got the child's backstory from this supposed curse painting.
Hell yeah, we do. So this story I'm about to go over is it's the tragic backstory of the child supposedly in this painting or one of the paintings because I didn't mention this earlier, but there's many different versions of the crying boy painting.
Dude, those limeys love to watch a little boy cry. I don't know what it is about those people in Britain, but man, they will pay good money to watch a little because they pretend it's an American boy because they know they could never just really kick America's butt in any wars. Like we beat them in, our Revolutionary War. We kicked their butt in WW2, and we'll do it again anytime.
That's right.
That's right.
I don't know I'm gonna act like this story is 100% true because it just makes this curse seem so much better. But when I read into it a little bit, there was this person. It was a researcher and retired schoolmaster from Devon, George Mallory, the person's name, who uncovered the story behind the crying boy painting in 1995. And then there was a researcher named Ken Sleeman, not Seaman. No semen involved, just Sleeman.
We don't know if there's semen involved.
You're right.
Though.
There could have been a little.
There could have been
a
a lot.
little lot.
We really don't know.
Yeah.
There could have been semen coming out every orifice.
Ooh, orifice. I was thinking that too. That's a good word.
Yeah, that's a real good word.
It's like it's
a good way to describe something, especially semen.
Yeah, because it just oozes out
everywhere.
Yeah.
Butts and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, dear.
So this researcher, Ken Sleeman, told the story of this person, George Mallory, who uncovered the story behind the crying boy painting. But really, there was like no other sources to really verify this story being true or not. So you got to take it for what it is. So this George, I believe it. Wait till you hear it, though. It's pretty nuts. Yeah. So this George Mallory traced the original artist to an old Spanish portrait painter named Franchat Seville, who lived in Madrid.
He sounds hot.
Seville was actually one of the pen names used by Bruno Amadeo, also known as G. Bragolin.
Amadeo.
Whose signature appeared on some of the prints. So according to a version of the legend told by researcher Ken Sleeman, not Seaman, Sleeman.
We don't know. We don't know.
The subject of the crying boy painting was not just any child, but a street urchin who had been found by the artist Giovanni Bragolin or Seville or Armadillo,
Armadillo.
Whoever you want to say, because nobody really knows.
Jeff. That's what I'm going
Well,
with.
Jeff, yeah. He found this kid wandering the streets of Madrid. The boy never spoke and had a very sorrowful look in his eyes. Seville, or I don't know what is, Bragolin, Giovanni, the painter,
Seaman,
the painter, painted the portrait of this kid. But a Catholic...
What?
What?
Dude, that's like,
What?
like, hey kid, your face looks horrible.
Yeah.
Like you look so miserable.
Yeah.
I want to paint you
I wanna
right
paint
now.
you, yeah. It's like Jack on the Titanic. Like, hey, Rose, I want to see them titties.
Yeah. Oh.
So this dude might be a little bit of a predator.
He could be. Did the crying boy have his titties out?
No.
Wow. All right. Damn.
At least he didn't.
Damn.
I don't think he painted them.
Well,
Yeah.
he could have had him out. All right.
He painted a shirt on him.
Damn.
Yeah.
It was one of those I Heart New York shirts, though, that
Yeah.
everybody wears. It's
Probably
crazy.
said Paris, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely French. Don't look into me.
Yeah. But there was a Catholic priest who was familiar with the child. So this Catholic priest warned the artist to have nothing to do with this kid. The priest told Seville, or Giovanni, that the boy was named Don Benio and that he had run away from home after witnessing the death of his parents in a fire. The priest further...
What is this priest doing?
Yeah.
Don't talk to that kid. He don't got parents.
Yeah. This kid's... So the priest further warned that whenever Don Benio went, so wherever he went, fires of unknown origin would mysteriously break out.
So he's a little pyro. He still needs love. He's just a little guy.
Villagers even called the boy Diablo
Yeah.
because of this strange phenomenon. Despite the priest's warning...
That's a pretty badass nickname.
Yeah. Despite the priest's warning, Seville, or Giovanni, ignored the advice and adopted Don Benio. The boy's portraits sold well, but the artist's good fortune was short-lived. One day, Seville's studio was destroyed by fire and his career was ruined. In a fit of desperation and anger, Seville accused the boy of arson. The child, naturally in tears, ran off and was never seen again.
So when they say he adopted him, it's very loose. Like, he just let him live with him.
Yeah, I know.
This kid just ran off, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
not my problem anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done with him.
I don't like that dog anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rid my hands of that dude.
Adios,
Yeah.
muchacho.
Muchacho. See.
De nada.
See.
As the Crying Boy paintings continued to sell, reports started coming in from all over Europe about mysterious blazes linked to the paintings. People began to believe that wherever the Crying Boy hung, fires would break out, furthering fueling the myth of the painting's curse. And then this is interesting. The curse seemed to culminate in a shocking twist in 1976 when a car crashed into a wall on the outskirts of Barcelona. The car exploded into a fireball and the victim was charred beyond recognition. However, a part of the victim's driver's license survived, and the name on it was none other than Don Benio.
Oh, damn.
This tragic end to Don Benio's life, if the story is to be believed,
Dude, I'm believing that story.
further cemented
Hell
the
yeah.
legend that the boy in the painting were somehow cursed by the tragic fires that had followed him throughout his life.
He's a demon.
Yeah, so that's the story of Don Benio, the crying boy.
The boy who lived has come to die.
So I think just like that story was all like awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't super into that story till it all tied into the end.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was a good story, but
Yeah.
it was just like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I like that.
And at the end,
Yeah.
dude just shrivels up.
He shrivels up like an old freaking piece of bacon you forgot about.
But I'd still eat it.
All right, so let's. Oh, I know you. So let's dissect this. So, like, what is fact and what is fiction as far as this thing goes?
So despite the fear and panic, there was no real evidence to suggest that the Crying Boy painting was cursed. Most of the fires were caused by ordinary factors. faulty wiring, electrical issues, or accidents. And in fact, the painting's survival during the fires can likely be explained by the fact that it was often located in rooms that weren't as exposed to flames or intense heat. The miracle survival of the painting was more likely due to circumstances than anything supernatural.
Let's get in. I want to hear about this paint, though, because I'm like dead set on the paint.
Yeah, we'll hear about the paint. Hold on one second.
You got to look up the paint.
No, I just didn't have it on my sheet. So just
Son of a freaking
I got it right
Corey.
here. I got it right here. So there was a British writer named Steve Punt who investigated the curse in an episode of the BBC Radio 4 production called Punt Pie in October of 2010.
Damn, that sounds dirty as hell.
It does. It's got to air after like 1 a.m.
Yeah, give me a little bit of that punt pie. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, they did a bunch of experiments and stuff on the paintings.
So this is like Mythbusters, but
Kind
in
of,
Britain.
but yeah, Brit Busters.
Yeah, Brit Busters. Because Mythbusters is called the United States Busters.
So this dude found out that the prints were treated with a varnish containing fire retardant, and that the string holding the paint to the wall would be the first to deteriorate, resulting in the painting landing face down on the floor and being protected.
See, that makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, whether that's
Right.
I mean, again, like
Well, something like that would make sense.
That
Some
would-
kind
yeah.
of varnish put on it. Yeah.
the string burns, the painting falls, it
Yep.
flips over, and then
Face
everything
down,
else
so-
burns. Like
Yeah.
heat rises, so
Uh-huh.
of course everything else is gonna burn.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. When you were kind of going over the whole story and the
Yeah.
fires, that's where my brain went.
That's-
That there would be something with the paint or like the varnish. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
And then let's just end it on urban legends like this one persist because they tap into our deep-seated fears and superstitions. Even though the Crying Boy painting was mass-produced and found in thousands of homes, it became the symbol of something much darker.
Much darker. So yeah, so you were talking about these curses, and I brought you 3 curses. 3 cursed objects.
3 cursed words.
3 cursed words. Yes, you ready for them? Get ready. Get your edit button out. Balls, wiener, and butthole.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, so I brought you like 3 cursed ones. I kept the stories pretty low key. So the first one is a cursed mirror.
I like me some mirrors.
I know you talked about mirrors before, yeah. So that's why, like, when I saw this one, I knew I had to add it because I know how you
Like
you
to
know,
look at myself in the mirror.
yes, with it tucked. So this one took place at the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana.
Myrtles?
Myrtles.
Okay.
So
Plantation.
Plantation. Yeah, this is like an uber haunted plantation in Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is located in St. Francisville. So the family of Mr. and Mrs. Woodruff, Mr. Woodruff being like a big judge down in this area, they were owners of this plantation in Louisiana, and they were known specifically for their cruelty towards their slaves at the time. Chloe was one of the slaves in the house, and she took care of everything inside, and she like really strived to do right with everything inside because like if you didn't do right, there was hell to pay. So she would eavesdrop on them a lot. She wouldn't do it in a way of trying to like be malicious or anything. She would eavesdrop in the way of trying to just make sure she was going to do everything right. Everything they wanted, she wanted to like beat them to the punch, so she would eavesdrop. Eventually, she got caught eavesdropping on the family. And what do you think they did to punish her for eavesdropping?
Whipped her?
Oh, no. They cut her ear off.
Ooh.
So that way
Left
she
or
couldn't
right?
eavesdrop again. Center. That way she couldn't she could never eavesdrop again. But then they said how hideous it looked, so they forced her to wear like a...
I was going to say that they cut off the other one to make it even?
No, they forced her to wear like a turban then all the time.
Okay.
Because they didn't want to have to look at it. So after all these events took place, Chloe was out for revenge. That's the name of the slave, Chloe. She was out for revenge. So she hatched a plan to use poison, and she wanted to poison Mrs. Woodruff and the kids. But she didn't plan on poisoning them to die. Back in these days, all the poison and everything, like if you were somebody that could heal, you were like a healer in these days, you were high thought up. Even in like this, if you were a slave that could heal, you were taken care of. So her idea was, I'll poison them, I'll know what I poisoned them with, and then I can just bring them back to life. And I look like a healer, I look amazing, and I'm treated great. So she used, what was it called? She used a poisonous flower called oleander leaves. I guess it's just like a normal, they're like all over the South and everything. But what she ended up putting too much of the dose into their food that she cooked it in, and she killed the missus and the 2 children. And long story short, before the owners of the house could figure out what happened, the slaves found out what happened and actually killed her themselves. So they did is they hung her from a tree out front. They didn't like give her like the good hang where they like take her up and throw her. Like they hung her and let her like suffer for a while up there till she finally like strangled, died. And then they wrapped her in a cloth, filled it with rocks, threw her in the Mississippi River, and her body was never found to this day. But there is a painting on this property that is said to see Chloe, that's said to see Mrs. Woodruff and the 2 children in it. A painting.
Okay.
There's a
Okay.
mirror. There's a mirror
all right,
there.
A mirror. I'm like, wait.
That is said to see Mrs. Woodruff, Chloe the slave, and the 2 other kids. There's also a lot of other things that go on at this plantation. They said that it was ransacked during the Civil War and a lot of people were killed, that the house was built on a Native American burial ground, and there are tales of voodoo used in the...
Damn. So there's a lot going on there.
So when I start reading on this might be something I come back to, and we might dive
like
into...
a whole episode on it.
Yeah, because there is a lot of really cool stuff. So that was that's the cursed mirror, which is like super famous at this plantation.
Well, son of a bitch.
Yeah. And then on top of that, we have a cursed chair that you can sit in while you look in the mirror.
I'm gonna guess it's a wooden chair.
It's a wooden chair, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yes, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Corey's on it. It's not a paper chair. Jeez. So this is the Thomas Bugsby chair. It's also known as the Bugsby Stoop Chair and the Dead Man's Chair. It's an infamous oak chair, and it's said to be cursed. The legend dates back to 1702, when Thomas Bugsby, a criminal, was executed for murdering his father-in-law, Daniel Oddie. Before his execution, Bugsby allegedly cursed the chair, promising death to anyone who dared to sit on it. The chair was originally located at Bugsby Stoop Inn in North Yorkshire, which is we're over in England, along with most of these paintings and everything, Yeah. And over the years, many deaths have been attributed to this chair and the people that sat on it. There's like a ton of deaths.
Is this chair still sitting there somewhere?
It's actually in a museum now.
Oh.
It's a museum, and it's hung up on the wall so that nobody can sit on it anymore. But there was like people like friends that dared each other to sit in this chair. They mysteriously died like in a car crash when they left the bar. There was naval airmen from World War II, Canadian airmen who sat in the chair and never returned home from their mission.
Damn.
So after a while, it was donated to the Thirsk. Yeah, it's a weird word, Thirsk Museum.
This is a Thirst Museum. Like that sounds like something.
It looks like Thirst, but it's with a K,
yeah.
basically.
Okay.
The Thirsk Museum, and they hang it from the ceiling so nobody can sit in it. Which is like a pretty good.
So I wonder if anybody tried though.
I think when I saw the pictures, it's almost like there's so much. Like this is one of those museums that's just filled with shit.
Oh.
Like there's shit. It's like a flea market almost. There's so much crap between it.
So I wonder if you brought like a big ladder in there, like pretending you're going to fix the lights or something.
Yeah, just gonna go. I heard you had a light fixture. Ha ha! I sat on Bugsby's chair.
You're just hanging upside down, sitting in this chair.
Yeah. And then the chair will, like, the hook holding it will fall, and you'll fall down and break your neck and die, and they'll be like, the chair strikes again. Yeah. So that's the. Would you sit in that chair? Like, if I told you that chair's haunted, Would you sit in that chair?
I think if I heard all of the people that have died from sitting in the chair, if I heard like an actual like number and shit, that would depend on. If it was like 2 or 3 just died from it,
The number's like, I'm gonna say it's around like 15 or 20 have sat in this chair and died.
Depends how many beers I have.
Yeah, I just don't see the benefit
Of sitting in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just be like, haha, look at me, Mike. I sat in the chair.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I got to ride the plane with you. This kind of sucks.
Yeah,
Back
yeah.
from London.
Yeah.
So the third and final one I looked up was the baker's wedding dress, and this actually took place in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Oh, snap.
Not too far from us. I mean, a little bit of a drive, but not far. Anna Baker's wedding dress is a fascinating and eerie piece of history. So the dress is housed in the Baker Mansion in Altoona, Pennsylvania, is said to be haunted by the spirit of Annie herself. Annie Baker was the daughter of Elias Baker, a wealthy ironmaster who built the Baker Mansion in the mid-1800s, and she fell in love with a steelworker. But her father disapproved of the relationship and forbade her from marrying him. Heartbroken, she never married and kept the wedding dress because she always was hoping that her father would change his mind. She just sat in her room, basically, for all these years until her death in 1914.
She just sat in a room and died?
Yeah.
For how many years?
I'm like 50.
A long, yeah.
Like 50 years.
What the fuck's wrong with her?
Yeah. Well, there's other stories that say that her father locked her in her room until she changed her mind, and she never did. And yeah. So her death in 1914, the dress was put on display in the Baker Mansion, and visitors and staff have reported seeing the dress move within its glass case, especially during a full moon. Some believers believe that this is due to the drafts or weak floorboards. Others attribute it to Anna's restless spirit. The legend of Anne Baker's wedding dress adds to the mystique of the Baker Mansion, making it a popular destination for those interested in the paranormal. Yeah, those are the 3 that I brought. I kind of wanted to go on like some different spectrums. We got a dress, we got a chair. A chair. The chair really, like the chair was like my OG plan.
That was probably the best one.
Yeah, was just to like really dive into a chair.
Dive into a chair.
Yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
who the hell would be scared? Because obviously we can't do a whole episode on a chair. You know, there's not enough material to do a whole episode on a chair.
Yeah,
so it's perfect. But I saw this mirror and this plantation, and it's like I started reading about this plantation. It's like, damn, I'm going to be diving into this eventually too.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 I got.
I kind of want to go over my personal.
Let's hear a personal curse.
So my wife and I got a personal curse.
Yeah, it's with photographers.
That has to do with part of it. It's part of the curse.
I know.
No, the curse is Perkins.
That is what it is. I knew it had something to do with your photographer.
It did.
Yeah.
Perkins is our curse.
Yeah.
We don't go to Perkins anymore because every time, 3 times in a row that we went to Perkins, something bad happened.
Let's hear it.
So
time 1.
Number 1. First time we went to Perkins,
Corey shit his pants.
Yeah. No. First time we went to Perkins. So my wife and I got engaged.
At Perkins.
Not at Perkins, no.
At a Cracker Barrel.
We got engaged. We picked out our wedding venue. And then while we were at our wedding venue, we met with a photographer who we really liked.
This was time 1, was the photographer?
This is time 1.
Damn.
So at the wedding venue, we met with a photographer who we really liked. Put down the deposit of $1,500 and agreed to do like
mostly clothes-on stuff,
engagement photos, and then like all the wedding stuff. So this was like probably springtime, and we wanted to do engagement photos like in the fall. So after we signed with him and stuff, he's like, all right, like just reach out to me and we'll set up a date for the fall to do the engagement photos. Okay, got it. So I started reaching out to this guy like, middle summer, nothing. Start late summer, like nothing. Like I was calling him, emailing him, everything, nothing. So the one day we're sitting at Perkins, eating lunch, and I think it was lunch or breakfast. I don't remember. Might have been a brunch.
Oh.
But we're sitting there, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to, like, start digging into this guy, like, Facebook and stuff, and found out that the guy killed himself.
Yeah.
So, like, while we're at Perkins, I'm like,
I mean,
I looked over at her, I'm like, fucking killed himself.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like he talked to me for like 5 minutes and he went off himself.
yeah. Yeah, so, like, dude's gone.
Yeah.
And long story short, with that situation, we're out $1,500.
Yeah.
We never got that back. Like, we tried going through the courts and, like, going to his estate and, like, everything, and, like, never got it back.
Yeah.
So, like, we were out $1,500. So that was the first time at Perkins.
First time.
Next time at Perkins.
This is the diarrhea time.
No, that never happened.
No. Damn
So
it.
the next time at Perkins, my wife, she found out, like, looking through, like, her phone and, like, her bank statements and stuff, that she was being hacked out of, like, $300-$400 from this dude that was, like, claiming he worked with Apple and yada yada, but really he didn't. And, like, yeah, like, he tried taking, like, I think he took, like, several hundred dollars basically from her.
Yeah.
And then we go to Perkins again, third time, and we get a call from her mom that her grandfather's in the hospital because he was having, like, some, like, heart issues, like major heart issues, and had to have some, like, heart shit done and stuff.
You stay
like
away
that.
from Perkins.
So yeah, we haven't been to Perkins
Yeah,
since.
stay away from Perkins.
Yeah, so we haven't been to Perkins since.
Dude,
So
I don't know if I have like a curse like that.
like, I'm assuming that's just a coincidence, but still, like,
Dude, I do have a curse the more I think about it. I don't know if this is a curse so much, but every time I eat imitation crab meat, I, like, get diarrhea. Would you consider that a curse?
no, I
I
think
feel like that's the closest thing I have to a curse.
I think that's just your guts. dude.
Imitation crab meat, diarrhea. I don't know how we
Yeah.
get there, though. There's a middle ground that I don't quite understand, but we get there. Damn, Perkins, too. Like, Perkins is aight, too. I mean, it's not, like... It's a good restaurant to not, like, want to go to, though. It's not, like, there's never a point in my life where it's like, man, I could really go eat some Perkins right now.
Yeah, I've never been like that either. I don't know how
No.
we just found ourselves at Perkins. You know,
Yeah.
you just find yourself there. You just
Yeah,
driving
I've been
around
there.
and
Yeah, I've been, like, random times where I've been at Perkins. Like, yeah.
It's like, so that's my personal
I'm staying the hell away
curse.
from... I am never taking you to Perkins. Or is it only... So, would the curse be lifted if I took each one of you to Perkins separately?
Or would we need to go burn a Perkins down?
Damn, I'm in. You said arson? I'm in. Let's do it. Yeah, I know exactly which one we're burning, too.
Hell yeah.
Anywho, Corey, you got some Reddit shit?
Oh, we got a lot. Well, not a lot of Reddit shit. We got 2 pretty solid Reddit stories.
Let's go.
Let's head there.
Let's head to Reddit.
Let's head there. Come off guard. Let's head there.
Let's head there.
All right, we're
All right.
back. All right.
Oh.
You go.
All right.
Taking the back seat.
All right. We're at Reddit. We are at Reddit.
Here we are at Reddit.
So we got 2 Reddit stories here.
2 Reddit stories about
First,
freaking cursed underwear, and the other one's about freaking cursed.
Mike's erectile dysfunction.
I don't think that's a curse.
No?
It's not a blessing, but I wouldn't consider it a curse.
So the first user is Gun Medic 15.
Yo, what up, Gun Medi? Fitting? I feel like it's been a hot minute since we
It
gave
has.
like the
Yeah. You want to say it again? Gun Medic 15.
Yo, what up, Gun Medi? 15? There we go.
When I worked in a gun shop in the late...
How would I know you worked at a gun shop? How did I guess that?
Yeah.
Is he also driving an ambulance?
When I worked in a gun shop in the late 1900s, we sold a gun to a person who committed suicide with it.
Hold on. First of all, who would word that in the late 1900s? Like,
it was late 1990s, and I
okay.
yeah.
You said late 1900s. It's like, who the hell
Yeah, it's
would
okay,
word
that's
it
fine.
just in those
That's
words?
just this
It's
guy.
so weird.
That's just this guy, not
Okay.
that guy.
All right, that's fine. That makes more sense.
So when he worked in a gun shop in the late 1990s,
There we go.
they sold a gun to a person who committed suicide with it. We got the gun back from the family after and sold it again to another person who committed suicide about a month after buying it. We got it back again and sold it to a guy who had it stolen. It was recovered at a murder scene in another state. We got it back from the owner who had it returned by the police when the investigation was finished. The boss and I melted it down with a torch.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's like where it ends here. It ends today.
Yeah. So this gun saw, 3 or 4 different people?
At least 3 people's deaths.
Yeah.
They're not saying how many people were murdered on that last one.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So that was my first one.
That's a good one.
This next one is like, it made me laugh. Like this one's interesting.
I'm in.
So this is a Reddit user, VK2786.
VK2726, have it your way.
2786.
2786. You rule.
You rule.
You suck.
Years back, I bought tickets to see Kings of Leon during a summer tour at an outdoor venue. Shortly after the tour started, it was canceled. Lead singer couldn't stay sober long enough to perform.
Been there.
Ticketmaster refunds the money. No big deal.
MBD.
A few years go by, and there is a huge Ticketmaster lawsuit, and I get a shit ton of free ticket vouchers as payment. I use a set for tickets to see Linkin Park 2 summers ago. Same venue as the aforementioned King of Leon show.
I think I know what happened.
A week later, lead singer kills himself.
Yeah. Not good.
Ticketmaster returns the ticket vouchers for me. I then buy tickets to see Kings of Leon in the same area again. Husband and I go out to dinner before the show. I get food poisoning and have to...
I knew somebody was pooping their pants.
Yeah,
and this is all said and
yeah.
done. I knew somebody was crapping themselves.
I get food poisoning and have to sell the tickets last minute. This past summer, I used vouchers to get tickets to see Avenged Sevenfold, again at the same outdoor venue I have been attempting to see shows at.
Dude, this outdoor venue must suck balls, though.
Yeah.
Like, the people would rather, like be all methed up and just kill themselves than go to this venue.
Yeah.
This place must have sucked.
A couple weeks later, tour is canceled for health reasons. Tickets are refunded. I am convinced of 2 things. I will never see Kings of Leon live, and the original tickets purchased are cursed.
And also, if I eat 38 gas station hot dogs on a date with my husband, I will poop my pants.
Yeah, you probably would.
I legitimately want to know how many hot dogs I could hammer back.
We could have a hot dog eating contest sometime.
Yeah, but it's like I want Joey Chestnut to be sitting across from me because like I feel like that, like you know how like you get that competitor and it's like you rise up to the competition.
You think you're gonna really rise up to?
I mean,
Joey
no,
Chestnut?
but I think I'm gonna hammer more back if Joey Chestnut's across
Yeah,
from me.
That's true.
I'll probably hit like 64
In like 10 days.
No way, dude. 10 minutes, dude. I can eat the shit out of some hot dogs.
I'm sure you do. You probably eat back some wieners.
And with that, it's time for. Do you have anything else, or is it folklore score?
Folklore score.
Corey's being perverted, so we'll go for folklore score. Hey, yeah! All right, we're back with the folklore score. And in case this is your first podcast to ever get in here, welcome. If this is your first, welcome. And second, where the hell you been? We got a lot of good stuff.
But hey, we're glad you're here.
We're glad you're here. Stay.
Stick around.
Yeah, stick around.
Shit's gonna get weird. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Dude, shit's been weird. It just stays weird here.
Yeah.
We have a folklore score we do at the end of pretty much every episode, and we each do a score. There's 5 categories. We can give it a score of 1 to 10. The categories go spookiness, historical, cultural significance, believability, uniqueness, and threat level. We add our scores up. We see what they get, and right now we have our top 10 on the board. 60 would be the score to beat with the Boo Hag at number 10.
And Krampus is our champ.
Dude, freaking Corey.
At 74.
Corey wants to slap Krampus's cheeks so bad. So bad.
I'd let him slap mine too, baby.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's how I feel with the Ouija board. All right, so my score, dude, I gave it a 21.
24.
24, which gives it a 45. Bum, bum, ba, bum.
Yeah.
So it's not going to make the board. 45 will put it at the mild myth, which this urban legend offers mild scares and minimal threat levels, providing listeners with entertaining diversions that may hint at danger but ultimately pose
And hey, before you
little
ask,
risk.
we've had many mild myths.
Dude, I
already.
owe it. Yeah.
This is our first
mild myth, ain't it?
No,
No, I already do. As soon as I gave the 21, it's just like I thought. It's just like Haunchyville. What else do we have? Dude, we had so many. We did have we had a what else? There was Haunchyville. There was the other one that you did right around. Oh, the Hide Behind.
Hide behinds, yeah.
I know we had like one more that hit like the 40s that I did. I think. I don't remember, but yeah, we had a couple wild myths. But anyways, do you want to dive into our score?
Sure.
Spookiness, what'd you give it?
I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 3. Historical cultural significance?
Gave it a 5.
I give it a 4. Believability?
Gave it a 5.
Gave it a 3. Uniqueness?
4.
I give it an 8. I thought it was unique.
I guess I gave it a 4 just because of all the many hundred thousands other of cursed
that makes sense.
objects.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
see if you're
this
looking
is-
at it from I looked at it more from the standpoint of it's like a haunted painting and it's super unique compared to everything else we did, like Krampus and Kraken, Mothman,
That's true.
Batman. It was just unique compared to that. Threat level, I gave it a 3.
I gave it a 5, moderate threat.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And with that,
shut
up, Corey. That's my line. Get your own line. And with that brings us to the end of the Sode.
the Sode.
The Sode. Yeah, it's pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. So yeah, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Threads, Uber Eats, and what's the other one I'm forgetting? Oh yeah, that's right, eBay, because we sell shit. It's crazy.
You can get Mike's used whitey tighties right after tonight, baby, for starting to bid at $20.
There's not much there, folks. It's just pretty much just an elastic band at this point. But hey, if you want them, you got them.
Yeah, $20. Bid starts now.
Bid starts now. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Follow us on social media. Make sure to drop down and give us a 5-star like. And remember, if you're not going to give us a 5-star like, keep scrolling.
Move on.
Keep scrolling. We don't want that shit. That's ridiculous. But yeah. So I'm Crack Daddy Mike. I'm out of here.
And I'm BK Corey.
Corey Stupid.